Last time, I talked about what's really at stake when you leave the UK. Today, I want to zoom in on one part of that conversation that deserves its own spotlight, your UK state pension. If you're thinking of leaving the UK, this is the bit most people never realize until it's too late. And this pension trap can quietly cost you £70,000 or more over your retirement. This isn't a rare case either. More than 500,000 British pensioners are affected by it right now. Normally, when people start planning a move abroad, they focus on the obvious things: visas, paperwork, cost of living, housing, all important. But the biggest long-term financial risk is usually something they've never heard of: the frozen pension trap. If you retire in the UK, your state pension increases every year by whichever is higher: inflation, wage growth, or 2.5%, also known as the triple lock. But if you retire in certain countries, your UK state pension stays frozen at the exact amount you first receive. No annual increases, no inflation protection, nothing. So, if you start on £230 per week, that's what you stay on, even as pensioners in the UK continue receiving increases every single year. Over time, that gap widens dramatically. Imagine two people who paid into the UK system their entire working lives. Person A retires in the UK, person B retires in Australia. Same career, same contributions, same entitlement. If they both retired in 2005 under the old state pension, person A now receives £9,175 per year. Person B still receives £4,266 per year, the exact amount they started on in 2005. And because Australia's cost of living is higher, the real value of their frozen pension has fallen even further. Under the new state pension, if they retired in 2016, person A receives £11,973 per year in 2025. Person B still receives £8,093 per year in 2025, the exact amount they started on in 2016. The estimated long-term loss: £70,000 or more over 20 years, and potentially much more if the triple lock continues rising above 2.5%. So, which countries freeze your pension? Here's the rule. If the UK has a reciprocal social security agreement with your country, your pension increases every year. If it doesn't, your pension stays frozen. Countries where you do get annual increases include the entire European Economic Area, Switzerland, countries with specific agreements like the US, Barbados, Bermuda, Gibraltar, and others. If you live outside these areas, you do not get yearly increases. A very common misconception: the UK has social security agreements with Canada and New Zealand, but those agreements do not include pension operating, so your pension stays frozen in both countries. And don't assume you're safe just because lots of British expats move somewhere. Many popular retirement destinations are frozen: Thailand, Malaysia, Mexico, Costa Rica. What if you only live abroad part of the year? That all comes down to whether you're considered a UK resident. I've covered the statutory residence test in another video, but here's a short version. If you spend 180 plus days in the UK, you're a UK resident and you continue to receive annual increases. If you become non-UK resident and you live in a frozen country, your pension stays locked at the first claimed rate. The good news: if you return to the UK later, your pension increases to the current rate, but the frozen years are not backdated. Here's a common question: can you get away with using a UK address while abroad? A lot of people think they can get around the rules doing this. Here's the reality. If you've already told HMRC you've left the UK, but you're using a UK address to appear resident, that's extremely risky. Giving false or misleading information is an offense. And with HMRC's AI-driven system, including their tool called Connect, which pulls data from banks, airlines, and more, it's just not worth the risk. If you want to keep UK tax residents legally, I'll link that video at the end. Do it properly and do it legally. Here are two things people always forget to do. 1. Proof of life or life certificate. If you're a UK state pensioner living abroad, the DWP will periodically send you a life certificate. You must complete it, have it signed by an approved witness, and return it. If you don't, your pension may be suspended until they receive it. 2. Moving back doesn't repair the past. Your pension jumps to the current rate, but the frozen years and missed increases are gone forever. Here's what you should do before leaving the UK. 1. Check if your destination country is on the operating list. 2. Inform HMRC that you're becoming non-UK resident. This affects how your state pension and other UK income are taxed. The state pension usually isn't taxed in the UK once you're non-resident, but it may be taxed in your new country. 3. Contact the International Pension Center. Tell them your departure date, your new address abroad, and the bank details you want your pension paid into. 4. Plan your banking setup before you move. If you're planning to leave the UK, make sure you understand how your pension behaves the moment you change residency. Most people don't find out until they've already moved abroad, when it might be too late to fix. This video isn't to scare you, it's to make sure you're not blindsided by something completely avoidable. If this helped, share with someone planning a move abroad. Hit like and subscribe if you want more content like this, and let me know in the comments, where are you thinking of moving? Now, check out these videos to understand what happens to your ISAs and pension when you leave the UK, and how to either cut UK ties legally or keep them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.